It's been a minute. It's so much to update you guys on. It's been months since I've uploaded to YouTube, and there is a very good reason why. I know. So this is the reason why we have been non-existent on YouTube. It's time for a story time. So let's talk. First of all, life has been crazy. I've had a baby, and it's just so much other stuff to happen. Y'all, I have probably been through more in the past 9 months than I have in probably the past 2-3 years. This has definitely been a life-changing season of my life, but I'm grateful. I'm grateful to still be here. I'm grateful that I'm even able to sit here and make this video as I finally come back to YouTube. So Dante and I, as you all know, we got married in November of 2023. Living life, loving our children, loving our family. And summer of 2024, I got pregnant. I did not think that I could have children because of me dealing with PCOS. With me dealing with PCOS, it had me dealing with a lot of just hormonal issues. It had me dealing with just a lot of just issues in general. So the fact that I was able to get pregnant without any help like I thought I would need medicine. I thought I may even need IVF. I thought I may need all of these different things to help me and Dante to be able to have a child together like we desired. But yeah, we literally did what grown people do. And ta-da! Our little nugget came. I found out I was pregnant right after Dante had his bypass surgery. As you all know, the last time I uploaded and talked, I was preparing to have my weight loss surgery in September of 2024. I found that I was pregnant August 12th of 2024, literally days before I was supposed to start the hardcore diet and weeks before surgery. So I found out I was pregnant, and yeah, when I found out I was pregnant, it was a mix of emotions. A part of me was just like, Lord, I literally had all of this stuff mapped out. Why is this happening now? But at the same time, I was also just super excited because having a child was one of my primary reasons for getting surgery. Because if you do research, for women who have PCOS, weight loss surgery is one of the #1 things that helps them to actually be able to get pregnant. So it was just a mix of emotions, but literally I felt a peace about it. A peace that let me know that this is exactly how things needed to happen. We told our children, and they were so excited. So watch this clip as we tell our children about the pregnancy.
Like surprisingly this, so can we get this over with?
Yes. So we want to do something special for all of y'all. Okay. So we got some certificates. I got some certificates. It's for we see everybody working and doing stuff and growing. So the certificates are for all y'all. So the first certificate goes to Madison. This certificate is for your leadership inside of your home, school, and community. You help to keep everyone together and united in such an innovative way. You light up every room that you walk in. Continue to be great. We're proud of you and we love you. Put your hands together for Madison.
Woo!
This next certificate is for Olivia
Oh my God.
Ladson. So here's for perseverance. So you're excelling and pushing yourself to be an incredible sister, student, musician, and cheerleader.
Right.
You continue to push yourself and do the hard thing, even when it's not easy. And we're so proud of you.
What a C9.
Give it up for Olivia.
Woo! Y'all like clapping for me.
Wow.
I can't.
Nathan, you are so loving and caring to everybody. Even at a young age, you have wisdom beyond your years. You leave a mark on everyone that you meet. Continue to be a light. Everybody give it up for
Nathan.
Nathan! Why did you put my whole name, but you didn't put?
Can you just say thank you?
Please.
God almighty.
All right, this one is Certificate of Appreciation for Carter Latz
Thank you.
for your integrity. You are a
I know, I
natural leader, and you stand strong in what you believe, no matter how somebody feels about it. Continue to stand for what's right and be the leader and the helper that God has created you to be. Give it up for Carter.
Woo! Well, I can't say anything, but you're welcome.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're
okay.
welcome.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
got one more. Carter, you got one more.
I know I do. I saw it.
I'm just gonna let you read it out loud. You gotta read it out loud.
Read it out loud.
Close your eyes.
Close your eyes, sit down.
Close your eyes. Sit down
What is it?
and read it out loud.
Read it out loud, Carter. Read it out loud.
Certificate of promotion. This is a certified that Carter Latz completed his duties as the youngest sibling and is now being promoted to a big brother starting April 20. Yes! I'm gonna be a big brother.
I knew it.
Yes.
I knew it. I knew it. Cause I was like, why are they all here? Why are they all here? And I was like, oh.
Look at the ultrasound.
Because at the beginning of the year, I had a dream about this.
Wow.
What's your dream?
I had a dream that Miss Lena was pregnant and had a baby.
Wow. Carter, are you about to cry?
No.
He is so about to cry.
I wish I could. I was about to cry.
You was about to cry?
Did you
Why?
see Nate's face? He went,
Why are you about to cry? Is it happy tears? Okay.
Why are you so happy?
Because I'm gonna have a little brother or sister. Wait.
Okay. You
I
can't.
don't hear
I
nothing.
know you can't hear anything. Looking back on that day, oh man, it makes me emotional to see our children so happy, to see them so excited about us having a child, me and Dante having a child together. It really brings back all the emotions that I felt in that moment. We decided to tell the kids the way we told them because we wanted to honor them. We wanted to honor who they are. We wanted to honor what they're contributing to the world. And we wanted to honor their accomplishments because even though we were having a child together, we did not want them to feel like we were forgetting about them. So yeah, we tell the kids, and when we tell the kids, we later on announced after my 34th birthday that we were pregnant and that we were going to be having a child. We announced after my 34th birthday because that's when I reached 12, 13 weeks of pregnancy. So we had completed the first trimester. The second trimester is when things got interesting. When I went for my first ultrasound, they saw that the baby had implanted itself low. So originally the doctors were preparing me for a miscarriage. Of course, God being God, he had his hand on that thing and we did not miscarry. We did make it through the first trimester. When I was around 16 to 17 weeks pregnant is when I began to feel like just something wasn't right. I was having a lot of pressure. There was some cramping, just a lot of things that I should not have been feeling. Because I have had children, you all know my daughter Madison and my son Nathan, because I had already had children, I knew that what I was feeling wasn't right. And I think the best way to describe it is it felt like I was feeling certain things too quick. What I was feeling is normally what I would feel as we were getting closer to the due date. So I knew something wasn't right. I couldn't put my finger on it, but I knew something wasn't right. If you know me personally, you know that I can be a little bit of a hypochondriac. I'm very dramatic. So internally, I was talking myself out of it. I kept telling myself, girl, you are overreacting. There is nothing wrong. You are fine. But there was that little voice inside telling me I needed to be looked at. I needed to be seen. So I called my doctor. She worked me in that same day, and they did a vaginal ultrasound and an ultrasound, basically, where they were looking at DJ also. Oh, DJ, that is his name. Looking at DJ to make sure everything was good. When they did the ultrasound of my belly, he was fine. He was breathing fine. He was growing fine. He looked perfect. At that time, I did not know that I was having a boy. Dante had the results because we did the genetic testing and we also did the gender testing in my first trimester. I intentionally did not want to know what we were having because Dante wanted to plan the gender reveal and the baby shower. With the ultrasound that they were doing, they saw that DJ was fine. But when they did the vaginal ultrasound, that's when they saw that my cervix was shortening and softening way too early. I was diagnosed with an insufficient cervix or an incompetent cervix. And they also saw that my placenta was completely covering the opening of my cervix. That condition is called a placenta previa. Placenta previa and the insufficient cervix can definitely be dangerous because with your placenta being right there where your cervix opens up, especially if you are dealing with a cervix that is softening and becoming short too early, it could put you in a place where you could go into preterm labor. And if your placenta is right there, it could put you in a place where your placenta could rupture and you hemorrhage. And that not only puts your life at risk, it puts the baby's life at risk. So they did send me to a specialist. And with the specialist was, you know, seeing me on a weekly basis, making sure that my cervix was not shortening anymore. They were making sure that the baby was looking good. They were making sure that everything was looking the way that it needed to look. And if my body was sending me into labor, they could catch it, get me to the hospital to make sure that they saved my life and prayerfully save the baby's life. With us doing these weekly appointments, they were also preparing me for a possible miscarriage at that late in the stage, because with my cervix doing what it was doing, I mean, preterm labor was definitely something that could happen. And babies that are born before 22 weeks of pregnancy, normally they do not make it. So at that time, I was around 18, 19 weeks pregnant when we were having these conversations. Around that time when they were doing my ultrasounds, they began to see that my placenta was doing something different. And they let me know that I was in a place where I could possibly develop what's called placenta accreta. Placenta accreta is basically when your placenta attaches too deeply into your uterus. And with just everything else that I had going on, because they saw that this was happening, they did definitely keep an eye on it. But once it got to a certain place, they told me that they felt that I would do best with an actual accreta team. So I was transferred to another specialist. My first appointment with this specialist was on December the 18th. December the 18th, I went in at 9 o'clock. At that point, I was used to all these ultrasounds. I was used to them just looking at all my goodness and glory. I just thought that it was going to be another check-in for them to see what's happening, what's going on, make sure the baby is good, make sure my cervix isn't shortening anymore, make sure that my placenta isn't doing anything crazy, making sure that if I have placenta accreta, that they're able to, you know, catch it early and make sure that I'm in a place where they can just take care of me. December 18th is when everything literally flipped upside down. December 18th, I was admitted into the hospital. This particular appointment with the Accreta specialist, they told me that they were basically afraid for my life. Because of me having placenta previa, an insufficient cervix, and based off of what they saw in the ultrasound, it was a definite placenta accreta. I was just in a place that I could hemorrhage at any given time. And especially because of the insufficient cervix, me going into labor early did nothing but put my life at jeopardy even more. Placenta previa is something that you hear of. An insufficient cervix is something that you hear of. Placenta accreta is not as common, but it is something that happens. But it's very rare for you to have all three conditions at the same time. And I had to be the person that this happened to. They admitted me into the hospital. They told me that it was just gonna be for 7 to 10 days. And looking back on it, I now see that they said that because they were not expecting my body to hold out as long as it did with the pregnancy. They were expecting me to have the baby. They were expecting the baby to not live. When I was admitted, I had to have some very hard conversations. I had to talk to a lot of doctors. Me and my husband had to talk to the NICU doctors just to get information on what life would look like for our son if he was born at a certain place and at a certain time of my pregnancy. Those first couple of days in the hospital were hard. I don't think I've ever depended on Jesus the way that I depended on him during my time in the hospital. The first couple of days, I literally begged the Lord to spare my life. I didn't know what direction things were going. Because of me having all three things happening at the same time, I was very, very high risk to the point where my pregnancy could not just end the life of my son, but also end my life. During this time in the hospital, the Lord and I, we had some intimate time. We had some raw conversations. I don't think I've ever talked to the Lord the way I talked to him while in the hospital. I don't think I've ever really became as open as I became with him. Like, I've always known the Lord. I've always served the Lord. I've been a Christian for a very long time. But this situation, it changed my relationship with the Lord. It made me closer. It made me lean more into him and his word. And even when I look back on it, like, there's certain things that I studied in the Bible. There's certain things that I dreamed that actually was preparing me for this time in the hospital. I had to find a way to just make it while there. So I began teaching piano while there. I created like my own little daily routine while there. I had Starbucks Fridays while there. I had to find a way to make the hospital home. And I'm not gonna sit here and act as if it was easy. It was really, really, really hard. Even when I look back just on my mental state, I was in such a survival mode. But even though I was in survival mode, I had a peace because I knew that the Lord was with me. I had a peace because I didn't know how, but I felt like the Lord was just not gonna just let things just end that way. Hey y'all, hey. So guys, today marks exactly a month that me and my little nugget, DJ, I'm not sure if you can really see my belly because I got on all black, but me and DJ have been here at the hospital, and this has been a journey, a physical journey, a mental journey, an emotional journey, and a spiritual journey. It's been a lot, but one thing that I will say is that I'm grateful that God is keeping us. I'm grateful that I'm still pregnant. I'm grateful that Dontavius Jr. is thriving. The doctors are so pleased with his growth. I'm doing well. My heart is just full of gratitude. Being in the hospital was not what we planned. I tell Dante this all the time. It literally feels like life shifted in a matter of hours, in a matter of minutes. Sometimes it even feels like it shifted in a matter of seconds. But one thing that I do know is that it is the Lord that is keeping us. It is the Lord that has allowed me to even get this far into pregnancy. On Friday, we will celebrate 26 weeks of pregnancy. And when I was first admitted at 21 weeks, 5 days, the doctors did not think that I would even make it to 22 or 23 weeks. So we're exceeding the doctor's expectations, and I know it's nobody but the Lord. One thing that I've said, and I will continue to say, is that God is really going to get the glory out of this. I have what's called insufficient cervix, and I also have placenta previa and placenta accreta. Normally these things are some very serious things by themselves, but I have it all at one time. So when I have DJ, I am going to also have to have a big surgery. So we're trusting God. If God has kept me this far, he's going to continue to keep me. And that's where I'm standing. So again, I just appreciate everybody for reaching out, your prayers, your support, just everything. And the miracle is still up. Hey y'all, hey! It is 8 weeks that we have been in the hospital. I was admitted due to me having an insufficient cervix, placenta previa, and placenta accreta. It has been a hard adjustment, but once I got adjusted, I got adjusted. We're going on 8 weeks that we have been here, and I've had to find ways to make this my home away from home. So I want to kind of just show you some things that I did that helped me and is helping me tremendously. First thing, because I am considered an extended stay high-risk mom, I am able to work from home. So I was able to bring in my keyboard so that I could continue teaching. If you are working in a profession that you work remotely, or you're able to continue working while you're in the hospital, do it. It has helped me to get my mind off of what I'm going through. It has helped me to have some sort of normalcy while I'm here. And it's really good to be able to see my students, even though we're no longer able to meet in person. Another thing I did was bring in just things from home, or ask my family to bring things from home. One of those things is my favorite pajamas that I like to wear. So I have these pajamas, which I got from Target, and I have this same pajama set in like 4 or 5 different colors. And I also have it as a gown in like 4 or 5 different colors. So my husband, he's been bringing in fresh sets of my pajamas after he has washed them, and he will just continue to restock it so that way I can sleep in something comfortable that makes me feel somewhat at home, plus my favorite blanket. So if you know me, you know that I am a sunflower lover. So me having my favorite blanket that has sunflowers on there has helped to just make this my home away from home. So I did not bring this in, my mother-in-law did, but she brought in a Christmas tree. So I was admitted the week before Christmas. Christmas is actually my favorite holiday of the year. So the fact that I was here for Christmas, I was no good. My spirits were broken. But she brought this tree in and she decorated it for me. And she cut out pieces of construction paper, and she began to just post little notes and scriptures on the tree for me. So anytime that I'm feeling down, or anytime I feel the Lord speaking to me about something, or any declarations that I want to put, I will write it on those little pieces of construction paper and paste it on the tree. I call that my little tree of life, because while I'm here, I'm speaking nothing but good things. We're declaring life, and we are declaring that all of this is going to end well. Another thing that I made sure that I brought with me was my Bible and my book with my favorite devotionals. Reading God's Word, studying His Word, praying, meditating, and just being in God's presence is what has really gotten me through these past 8 weeks. I'm not going to sit here and act as if this journey has been easy this far, because it hasn't at all. But it is the Lord that has brought me through. And the other thing that I have is a journal. I can't get it down right now, but I have a journal that I have just been journaling my thoughts, journaling my authentic feelings, journaling my emotions, because sometimes you just got to get it out. So yeah, make sure you have your Bible, a book that you love to read, and make sure you have a journal. Last but not least, make sure you pack some of your favorite skincare items. You have to make sure you're taking care of yourself while you're here. The doctors and the nurses are going to make sure that you're good when it comes to your health and the health of your baby if you're in the hospital due to a high-risk pregnancy such as myself. But you have to make sure that you're also taking care of you. So I made sure that I packed some of my favorite body washes, some of my favorite lotions, my skincare items. I made sure that even when it came to my hair, the girl who actually did my soft locks, I'll tag her below, she came to the hospital to actually touch them up. Moms, you have to make sure you're taking care of yourself, even in the midst of whatever it is that you have going on that has caused you to be admitted. So yeah, that has been what has helped me. Hopefully you can take some of these items and it help you. I hope y'all have a good one. Y'all, we are in our 3rd trimester. And I say we because you guys are on this journey with us. We have made it to our 3rd trimester. Today, I celebrate 29 weeks pregnant. Looking back, I did not think that we would make it this far. The doctors did not think we would not make it this far. And I think just the emotions of everything, it had my faith real shaky when I was first admitted into the hospital. But look at what the Lord has done. It is nobody but the Lord. Nobody. We are at 29 weeks pregnant. Wow. So with us making it to the 3rd trimester, we have been talking to the doctors, and there is a birth plan, a delivery plan that is in place. So because I do have placenta accreta, which is basically where your placenta begins to grow too deep into your uterus, I am not going to be able to go full term. One of the reasons why they admitted me so early is because I had not only placenta accreta, but I also have placenta previa, which is basically when your placenta covers the entire opening of your cervix. And I was dealing with what's called cervix insufficiency, which is basically when your cervix begins to shorten and soften way too early. So with me dealing with all 3 of those things, they were like, we need to make sure that we keep our eyes on you. So we're going to admit you to the hospital. So the accreta team here at the hospital, they said that sweet spot for delivery is going to be between 32 and 34 weeks. Of course, they want to get me as close to 34 weeks as they can. So we're looking at the latter part of my 33rd week of pregnancy to go ahead and do my C-section and my hysterectomy. I've gotten a lot of questions on how I feel about the hysterectomy. At first, when I was first diagnosed with placenta accreta, I had mixed emotions about it, but I do have peace about it now. God has blessed me to birth not 1, not 2, but now 3 beautiful children. And I also have my bonus children, so I have 5 kids. So I do feel like our family is complete. I'm really anxious about my surgery. I'm very anxious, but I trust the Lord. I trust the Lord. That has been my stance that I've had, even when at times my faith was a little shaky, even at times when things looked like they just were not going to go the way that I anticipated them to go, even though this pregnancy has gone the complete opposite of what I wanted. I wanted to do, maternity pictures. I wanted to have the lavish baby shower. I wanted to have the gender reveal. I wanted to, do it up and have all the things. This pregnancy I was not able to do that, but I have gained a lot from this pregnancy. And with me gaining a lot, I've also grieved a lot. I've grieved just life not quite going the way that I anticipated it to go. But I do feel like there's purpose behind all of this. God's thoughts is not our thoughts. God's ways are not our ways. So even when we are in situations that we did not plan for, there is purpose behind it. My faith and my relationship with the Lord has gone to just a whole other level. So I know there's purpose. I know there's reason for all of this. And we're going to stand on faith for the rest of this journey. We have 5 more weeks, y'all. 5 more weeks, and DJ will be here. I have been given my C-section hysterectomy date. Hey, y'all, hey. So we are now in week 29 of pregnancy. It's 29 weeks and 4 days of pregnancy to be exact. And I have been given my C-section hysterectomy date. I have so many emotions about this. I'm excited. I'm excited because it feels like this whole process will be over. And I'm excited to kind of get back to the norm of being home, being with my husband, being with my children, just living life. But I'm really nervous. Really nervous. Why are you nervous, Alicia? I'm glad you asked. I am nervous because this is a major surgery. Actually, these are 2 major procedures being done at the same time. So it's so many unknowns. I'm such a planner, and I'm someone who likes to sometimes be in control, which this process has definitely humbled me when it came to that because I have not been in control at all in this whole situation. I feel like that's something that the Lord wanted me to take away from this. But it's just so many unknowns. It's so many gray areas. And just speaking with the anesthesiologist today, it just confirmed that. When you have placenta accreta, the MRIs, the ultrasounds, they only show but so much. The real test of how serious your accreta is, which it could be accreta, increta, or percreta, they won't know until you are on the operating table and they open you up. But let me tell you, even though I am nervous, I trust the Lord. I trust the Lord. I'm trusting the Lord that when they open me up, things will not be as bad as they think it is. I'm trusting the Lord to just do a miracle. I asked for a miracle when it came to my son, but I'm also asking for a miracle when it comes to me. When we first began this process, we told the Lord what we wanted. We told the Lord that we wanted me to be able to make it to my 3rd trimester. We told the Lord that we wanted him to spare our son's life. We told the Lord that we didn't want me to go into any type of emergency situation due to the possible bleeding and the hemorrhaging that could come from placenta accreta and my short cervix and placenta previa. And the Lord has did exactly what we asked. I've just seen way too many miracles in my 34 years of living, including miracles when it came to my health in the past. I'm crazy enough to believe that the Lord is going to do it for me again. So I'm human, I'm nervous, but I'm trusting the Lord. So the countdown begins. The miracle is loading. That has been a hashtag I've used, and grow DJ grow. DJ is continuing to grow, and the miracle is loading. It's already a miracle that I've made it this far, but the miracle that the doctors are going to see when I'm on the operating table. I'm excited. I'm so excited. And the only thing that we will be able to say once this miracle happens is look at what the Lord has done. I'm standing on that. I'm declaring that, and I'm believing that. So, yeah.
A binky, a titi.
And I said I wasn't coming because my family was coming. I love this. I actually on my
I met some amazing people while at the hospital. To this day, I'm still in contact with a lot of them. My nurses, my doctors, they helped me get through. They became like family. They literally became like my family while there. My husband, he had to hold down the fort here at the house. We are a blended family of, at that time, 4 children. So with me being a stay-at-home mom and wife, he had to change his life and change from working at his office to now working at home to make sure that he was here with the children and here to be an emotional support for them, because truthfully, me being in the hospital definitely took a toll on my children also. I'm still in awe of how I made it through without going crazy. I spent 86 days in the hospital. Within those 86 days in the hospital, I developed blood pressure issues. I caught an infection in my breast out of nowhere. To this day, I'm still trying to figure out how in the world did I get an infection. So much happened. But even though all of that stuff happened, I just knew that the Lord had me. Even with me having placenta accreta, it did worsen. My placenta definitely grew through my uterus, and about a week before my scheduled C-section, they were even having concerns that my placenta had not just grown through my uterus but grown out of my uterus and was trying to connect to some organs that I have. And by the grace of God, that definitely did not happen. With the placenta accreta, the only way to save your life if you have placenta accreta normally is to do a hysterectomy. For me, they did not take my ovaries, so they only took my uterus and part of my cervix. So I still have my ovaries. So if Dante and I did decide that we did want to have another child, we could definitely, do a surrogate. I'm grateful for the nurses. What I do know is that I'm grateful for the doctors. They literally saved my life. The fact that Dontavius Jr. and myself are still living is a miracle. I had doctors and nurses literally coming to me after the procedure, literally saying how we went against science. For me to have all 3 of these conditions at one time, it was either supposed to be DJ not make it, possibly me not make it, or either the both of us not make it. Someone was not supposed to be here. But we're both here. We are both here. And I know that it is because of the Lord. So life is different. Life is different now. My perspective on things is different. How I view life is just different. We are now a family of 7. DJ is here. Today he is 6 weeks old, and he is probably the best thing to ever happen to our family. He is such a miracle. I'm a miracle. Wow. Talking about it after the fact, it amazes me because we're still here. Yeah, it amazes me that we're still here. I documented a lot of the journey on Instagram and TikTok. It was therapy for me. Talking about it once I dealt with a lot of what was going on, it helped me. It helped me. And my prayer was that people didn't just see me. People didn't just see my husband, because we both were, talking about our experience as we walk through this process, and literally getting the prayers of people that we do life with and our colleagues and our family. We didn't just want all the attention to be on us. Just something inside of us, we knew that the Lord was going to work this thing out. And he did. And our biggest thing is that we wanted the Lord to get all the glory. We wanted him to get all of the credit. So here is where we are. This is life. We are now a Latson family of 7. And I'm grateful to still be here. I took a really long break with vlogging. Even while in the hospital, I just shot my videos that I did for short form content on my phone. I'm really happy to get back into vlogging, to get back into just you guys just seeing our life, and prayerfully our life, our testimony. My content helps you. I'm hoping that it even points you back to Jesus at the end of the day. So yeah, this is our family. This is our new beginning. I keep saying this, but I'm just grateful to be here. And I want to make sure that I'm very intentional about the content that I make going forward. So yeah, y'all, content is coming. Make sure that you have your notifications turned on. Make sure that you are subscribed. And not just follow me here, make sure that you're following me on Instagram and on TikTok to stay up to date with like the day-to-day things of my life, of my family's life, and just of my content in general. So thank you guys for all the support that you guys continue to give me and my family. For those who have been on the journey with us when it first started, thank you guys for the prayers. Thank you guys for everything. I guess this is the end of this video, so I will talk to you guys in the next video. So I hope y'all have a good one. Bye.